Good Shabbos, everyone. Good Shabbos to all those here in the Bark Sanctuary and all those who are watching on our live stream. It's a pleasure to have those of you with us here and, of course, all those watching as we celebrate this beautiful Shabbat and the hard work, as we honor all the hard work that these B'nai Mitzvah boys have done in preparation for this day. But just a few days ago, I don't think any of us could have imagined how quickly our world has changed. It all seemed to happen Wednesday afternoon when we found out that the rodeo was canceled, and then hours later we found out that the NBA was suspending its season, and everything since that time has seemed to, in some ways, spin out of control. Every hour it seems we're hearing of something that's been canceled, or another person that we know, or a famous person that we know from the media, or Hollywood, or a sports figure, or a politician, or a politician's wife, or a university president's wife, or a university president's daughter continue to come down with the coronavirus. We have fears and concerns, and we're not sure what the future holds. This week was a week I don't think any of us could ever have imagined. I had a friend of mine, she is a major germaphobe, and she texted me and said, "See, I was right. I think I hate germaphobes more than ever before, but maybe they were right." This is something I think none of us could ever have imagined, and yet we're not done with it. And so what do? All of us are facing an unprecedented global siege on the daily routines of life, the pain and disruption of loved ones and friends in confinement. Some of us are dealing with the sudden loss of livelihoods, our financial security that we think we had. We see so much of it lost in the stock market this week. Some of us, we had plans to work or earn money through different entertainment venues or restaurants or businesses throughout our city, and now we're concerned. And there's a profound and profoundly growing worries about what will tomorrow hold. What do we have to do? Synagogues, communities, sports leagues, or businesses, we're all in this together. This is uncharted territory. But the Jewish concept of pikuach nefesh, saving lives, is the imperative now. Community begins with saving lives. So none of us, whether we're a synagogue or a business, we can't hesitate to cancel, distance, or await the time when we can embrace safely again. We have to make changes to our routines, our children's routines, the routines that we love and cherish, the sense of control that we as modern Americans have. That's up in the air now. We make changes like tonight, coming here in the Bark Sanctuary, where we ask people to sit apart. And we ask only those who are invited by the guests or those who feel an imperative to say the mourner's Kaddish for a loved one to come this evening, but for everyone else to watch from home. It feels awkward as a rabbi to tell people, you may not want to come to shul tonight, but please watch on your computer. It feels different, and I know I'm far from alone. It's interesting that here in Houston, we've been through so much together. Tropical Storm Allison, Hurricane Ike, the Memorial Day floods, Hurricane Harvey. I know I'm forgetting many things. It seems like in Houston, we go through these events every couple of years. And unfortunately, we may be more prepared than other places across the world. But I know you remember, like me, what it was like the weeks, months, and now years after Hurricane Harvey, the most difficult tragedy that we here in Houston experienced. That after a while, we were actually better for it. Yes, it was a difficult time. Many of us lost our homes and our livelihoods. Our routines were greatly changed. But in the end, I think we all became more resilient for it. We were strengthened. We began to understand really what was important in life, our loved ones, our relationships, the goodness that we bring to the world. I think, in an odd sense, we became better people and better Jews because of what happened to us 2.5 years ago through Hurricane Harvey. I can tell you as a synagogue, we became better. Not just because of the physical changes we're able to make, like this ramp here on my right, but more importantly, because we are a stronger community for it. Attendance has been up ever since. People felt a renewed sense of belonging and the importance of belonging to a religious community. Going through these experiences, like so many of you have gone through like me, reminds me that we will get through this time. And in the end, God willing soon, we'll be better for it. We'll be more resilient, we'll be strengthened, we'll be better people. We'll be people who cherish what's really important in life. And so while these days and weeks ahead will be difficult, and perhaps even more difficult than this past week, let us not forget that in the end, things will get better. This virus will go away. Eventually, a vaccine will be created, probably in Israel. And we'll be better for it. And we'll be okay. As long as we don't panic, we remain calm, we reassure our children and grandchildren, and we're there for each other. That we look out for those in need. I've gotten many calls this week from elderly congregants or those who are already confined to their homes. They're scared. They already felt alone. And now they're afraid that no one will come to see them, no one will call them, no one will be there to help them because so many of us need help at this time. So if you're able to, over the next coming days, to find the time to reach out to someone you think may be more alone than ever before, do so. Take that extra time to call them, to visit them, to make sure they know they're not alone. Because so many members of our community and so many of our fellow Americans have never felt more alone. So take that time to reach out to them. And in the days ahead, let us remember that we are very blessed as members of a Jewish community, that we have a tradition that we can turn to, that those beautiful and timeless values of Torah and community have carried the Jewish people for centuries. The previous tragedies that dwarf this one, and yet we've always survived. We as Jews have always been strengthened. There's a reason why we as Jews are still here. I want to connect what we've all been going through over the last several weeks to last week's Torah portion, Truma. In that week's Torah portion, it described the gifts the Israelites brought to build the Mikdash, the portable sanctuary that the Israelites carried with them in the wilderness of Sinai. According to our tradition, God told Moses to tell the people, "V'asuli mikdash v'shachanti betocham." Let them make me a sanctuary that I may dwell among them. The Mikdash, the portable sanctuary, the root of the word is Kodesh, holiness. So here's the lesson according to my colleague, Rabbi Yoshi Zwiebach. He says, when people are in need of healing and we try to bring them comfort, we try to restore them to health, that's a holy act. When people are suffering and we try to ease their pain, that's a holy act. When we try to keep others and ourselves safe so that diseases like the coronavirus don't spread, that's also a holy act. So my friends, this evening, let us take practical steps. Wash our hands. Sneeze and cough into your sleeves, not your hands. Get more sleep. Eat better. More exercise. Take care of yourself. Strengthen your immune system. But more importantly, don't forget to take care of one another too. Find ways safely to embrace those who are in need of your healing. Bring them your love, your heart, your attention, and your care. And finally, during this time, let us not forget to turn to God through our own individual prayers, through our prayers of community, and through the wise prayers of our tradition. This is what a time like this is for. It's for prayer. It's for asking God to deliver us, to ease our pain, and to help those who are in need. So if you don't mind, take the Shabbat announcements that you picked up when you walked into services this evening and turn to the page that says a Jewish prayer for healing in the coronavirus epidemic. And let us read this prayer responsively. Harachaman, compassionate one, you are Rofei Chol Basar V'Fliv La'asot, healer of bodies, who does wondrous deeds. Together, the wondrous bodies that you made for us now feel more fragile. The openings by which we perceive your world now feel more vulnerable. We are anxious and frightened by the uncertainty of what is to come. We love the lives we lead, and we fear what disruption may come. We love our friends, families, and neighbors, our children, and our elders, and we fear what illness may come. Together, we pray for healing of body and of spirit, speedy and complete, for all those who are ill from the coronavirus, both far from us and close to home. Strengthen the hands of our caregivers. Give of your healing powers to our medical personnel and mental health professionals. Give of your wisdom to our decision makers and public health officials. Together, strengthen our hearts to confront this challenge. Give us of your discipline, that we may not yield to panic and dread, but may protect ourselves with appropriate precaution and calm determination. Give us of your compassion, that we may not yield to prejudice or bigotry, but may reach out to our neighbors with kindness and solidarity. We are grateful for our bodies and the life you have given us. We are grateful for our communities and congregations who see us and support us. We are grateful for those who are working to protect us. We are grateful for your love and your sheltering presence. We know we are not alone. And now, we are blessed to turn to the power of music, to the power of prayer, to the power of God. As the cantor leads us in the prayer we recite every Friday night, found in the inside back cover of our Sidurim, the Misha Berach prayer. Let us rise.
Bless the ones before us. Help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing for us and all of those we love. Misheberach imotenu mekor habracha. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
God, at this time, hear our prayers. Give insight to our physicians and nurses, strength to all those who are dealing with illness now. May all those who are ill have a refuah shlema, a complete healing soon. And let us say,